What's up, everybody? It's time for another episode of Awkward Stories with Mr. Forrest.
Awkward Stories with Mr. Forrest!
So, as most of you know, I speak at Bible camps during the summer. Just about the entire summer is filled with speaking engagements. Most of those are Bible camps. Some of those are VBSs or another special kids event. But it wasn't always like that for me. I remember the first camp I ever spoke at. The first camp I ever spoke at came completely by accident. Well, I could see it was God's hand planning it all, but that in itself is an awkward story. So I guess this is two awkward stories in one.
Awkward Stories with
I was
Mr.
serving as the
Forrest!
assistant director for Neighborhood Bible Time, and the man who is the director now. He had just taken the program from Boss, or Charles Homsher. He's the man who founded the program, one of the greatest children's ministries in history. And so he was taking the program, and I came on to help him with the transition. He was originally scheduled to speak at a camp, and he couldn't do it because now he was the director of Neighborhood Bible Time. Well, he didn't tell me this, and he didn't tell the camp director this, but his plan all along was to have me speak in his place. Well, he told me like a week in advance, and that's hardly enough time to prep 9 sermons to get ready for a full camp program. And he didn't tell the director of the camp until like the day before, because he knew if he told him any time before that, the director would say, no, we don't want him, and he'd go find someone else. But the director of Bible Time really wanted me to speak there, so he just didn't tell the camp director. So we pull up, I'm all excited, never preached at a Bible camp before, but I always wanted to, that was something that was in my heart to do. And I'm like, this is my opportunity, I can't wait. And I get out of the car, and the director walks up to me. He shakes my hand, he looks me dead in the eye, and he says, I just want you to know, I do not want you here, but I have no other choice. I was like, My heart sunk into my feet. It was not a good feeling. But I was confident that God would bless his word, and everything turned out great. And that's what started us speaking at camps. They had us back every year for like a decade or maybe even longer. So that turned out great. So I didn't know what to expect because I had never preached at a camp before. So I just brought stuff that I'd normally bring. Well, I didn't bring swim trunks or anything because I didn't know they'd have a lake to swim in or whatever, but they did. They had a lake. And the program director's like, hey, do you want to go inner tubing? And I'm like, inner tubing? Yeah. And so I was all pumped to go inner tubing, but I didn't have any swim trunks. So I just wore my jeans. And he's like, how do you want the ride? Do you want it easy? Do you want it medium? Do you want it rough? Or do you want it wild? And I was like, wild. And so he got that boat cranking, going so fast, and he starts hitting these corners, and I'm hanging on for dear life, and I'm like, and I'm sliding all over the place, and I'm trying to hang on for dear life, and he's trying to throw me. He's whipping the boat back and forth, and that inner tube's skipping off the water, and I'm flying through the air and getting whiplash, and finally he threw me, and I hit the water so hard, going so fast. I was like, pip, 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 across the water, and then it was like, blah, 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 and then I sunk. I came to the top, and I was like, woo! That was awesome! Let's do it again! And my legs felt really cold for some reason. And I swam toward the boat, and in swimming, it felt really easy to swim. And I noticed my jeans were not on my legs anymore. I'd gotten going so fast, when I hit the water caught the back pocket of my jeans and ripped my jeans clean off my body. And now for the really awkward part. I had to get back in the boat, and then I had to walk from the boat to my cabin, and I probably did the sideways walk. Guys, this has been another episode of Awkward Stories with Mr. Forrest.
Awkward stories with Mr. Forrest.
Mr. Forrest out.